Check 1 2. Bear, the coordinator at Machindo, came out and kind of talked to the kids about what was going to happen. I know some of you are first time sending kids to camp. I myself, I'll be sending my second this year, so I'm much more relaxed doing this for the second time. So I can assure you, I've known Bear for a long time. I have went to his camp and worked as a teacher. As a principal at Swanton, we would send our kids there, and then last year, obviously, and then I've also had experience with him as a parent. So he does a wonderful job. The kids are well fed, they're well supervised, and they have a great time at camp. So take a breath if you're a little nervous. We're going to go through everything, answer all questions, all of that good stuff today. I want to point out a couple people. Robin Fritz, one of our 6th grade science teachers right here. So she helps direct camp. So she's our camp director, so some questions can go to her. Of course, questions could go to me. We have Amy Babrick, our school nurse. Any medical issues and things like that will be there. And then Stephanie Huntley, she just ran back over to FT. She's coming back. She's our 6th grade counselor. Anything that you may need to speak with her about, issue with your child, something like that, she'd be a great resource as well. I know if you're like me, chasing kids around at different practices and whatnot, we'll get moving on this thing so we can get you guys out of here in a good time. So I will turn it over to Bear right now, and he can tell you about camp.
All right. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'll definitely have you guys out of here by 8 o'clock. No worries. No, just kidding. My name is it's Terry Bear at camp. Everyone just calls me Bear. Like Mr. Smith said, I am the director out at Camp Machindo. I actually started in Machindo back in 1991, right out of college. I guess it was legal for 12-year-olds to work at that time. And then I taught there, or worked there for several years, became the director, taught at Toledo Public Schools, became their director for all 32 elementaries. So I was stuck at the board, which is the opposite of what I went to school for. So I left, and now I've been back at Machindo since 2008. Machindo is located in Hillsdale, Michigan. It gets its name because it's located in the tri-state area. So Machindo actually stands MICH for Michigan, IND for Indiana, and then OH for Ohio. Now, I love that. There were like a dozen parents. Oh, I thought it was like some Native American. Okay, yeah, so it's just the tri-state area right there. We're located about an hour and 20 minutes northwest of here when your children are traveling there. Or if you're looking at it on the map, you're actually going to go further west than you will north when you travel to get to Machindo. Outdoor education school, that always brings up so many questions because they're like, well, I checked out your camp website and I checked out Camp Machindo and Machindo Conference Center. I mean, there's a lot of different names we go by, but let me just talk about the outdoor education school because that's my program. So why do we call it a school? 3 reasons. Number 1, this is going to be an extension of your child's curriculum. This isn't just a field trip to the museum, and there's value in that, don't get me wrong, or a field trip to the zoo, you know, because sometimes they run by and they're like, oh, look, it's the lions, and then they run by, oh, look, it's the meerkats, and then they run by, oh, look, it's the rhinos. That's a setup of the old zoo. I don't have the new zoo memorized yet, and there's value to that, but if there's no one there to help them understand more of what they're seeing and what's going on, then a lot of that educational experience is lost to the children. So we definitely do not want that to happen. Now, I'll give you an example. Let's say the teachers are going to bring up a unit on, say, reptiles and amphibians. It's going to be reptiles and amphibians, you know, and they're going to open up books and they're going to read about snakes and lizards and frogs, and then they're going to bring up some really cool YouTube videos, and they discover that snakes have smooth skin, or scales. But what's smooth to one individual may not necessarily be smooth to another. It's kind of a relative term there. So what's going to happen is when they get to Machindo, they're going to go to the nature center. And they're going to get out the snakes. They're going to get out the lizards. They're going to get out the frogs. And then they're going to go, oh, that's what smooth scales look like. Or if they're a little bit braver, hey, that's what they feel like. Ooh, can I hold it? Hey, I bet my mom would really like to see me have this. No, probably not. But it's hands-on discovery. It is an extension of their curriculum. And the teachers are going to pick classes that are going to align with that. Number 2, second reason, and I talked to your children today. And I said that when you walk in to Fallen Timbers Middle School, you are responsible for your own actions. You are responsible for your own items. You are to be respectful to others, to their personal space, and to their items. And we can do that while we're at school. That's pretty simple during those hours. But now it's going to be 3 days learning how to cooperatively live with one another in that environment. You know, you just can't kick off your socks and shoes in the middle of the floor because it's a community area that we have to share while we are there at Moshindo. So the third reason, final reason, so that's the cooperative learning and living together. And then the third and final reason is goal setting. So we have an indoor 30-foot rock climbing wall. And first thing I say is, we go through all the safety procedures, and the helmets and the harness and all of that. And I get them on belay, I hook them in, go through the checks. And then I say, all right, what's your goal? And some of the kids are like, oh, man, all right, I know my goal, Bear. My goal is to go to the top. And I'm like, all right, that's a great goal. Strive to do your best. Boom, you're on belay. And then they can begin to climb. Some kids are a little, they come up and they're like, woo-wee, I don't know, man, that's high. Could I go halfway? Is that your goal? That's my goal. Man, that's a great goal. On belay, strive to do your best. And then every once in a while I get a kid and they're not having it. They step up and they're like, I don't know. And I'm like, come on, man, give me a goal. They're like, yeah, my goal is to stay on the ground. And I'm like, all right, that's a great goal, but you've already accomplished it. How about we step out of our comfort zone? Could you do one step? I have never had a kid say no. They're like, wait, one step? I'm like, yeah. They're like, that could be a goal? I'm like, is that your goal? That's my goal. And then they take one step up. Every once in a while, they look back and I'm like, you want to go a little higher? Every once in a while I go, I'm going to do one more step. I've had kids almost make it halfway up the wall that weren't even going to get on the wall to do that. So we're going to be goal setting in every single class. Every single class we're going to be goal setting. They're going to be with their classmates, okay, with the students that they socialize with throughout the day, okay, in that community. And then we're going to be building on that curriculum and extension of that. That's a school right there, the outdoor education school. Now, what makes the camp part? We're going to be in the woods. We're going to be in cabins. We're going to be outdoors as much as possible. So they are going to need to make sure, first of all, make sure that they can carry their own luggage to their cabin. Now, I don't know if that means, you pack them up and they walk down the block and back or something like that. I don't do that. Neighbor will probably think you kicked your kid out. They just kicked their child out the house. I don't know about that. But we want to make sure that they can carry their own luggage. So in one hand, they're going to have a suitcase or a duffel bag. And in the other hand, they're going to have a sleeping bag or a bedroll. Now, sleeping bag, we all know what a sleeping bag is. You go to the closet, boom, grab that out of there, put their pillow with it. Bedroll is just take the sheets and the blankets that are on their bed, kind of tri-fold that, roll that up like a fruit roll-up, boom, pop it right into a garbage bag. I love the idea. You wouldn't believe your kids. When I said garbage bag, they were like, ew. And I was like, a clean garbage bag. Like, I had to preface that. So you're going to put that in. It's waterproof, super easy to carry. Now, because your child, and you know your child better than I do, they're probably going to be excited when they get to camp. Okay? And then they're going to put that bag down, and they're just going to shred that thing open. And then on the day they leave, they're going, it doesn't work. So give them an extra trash bag to put in there. I said that once to a group of parents, and a dad piped up, so they can lose it during the middle of the week. I'm like, hey, man, it's your kid, not mine. Give them a fighting chance, though. So put that in. Now, make sure you mark that bag. Because if we have 100 kids show up at camp, and all of them have black garbage bags, panic ensues when I say, where's your stuff? It's in that black. Oh, that's a lot of black garbage. Yeah. So funny now, not there. So spray paint it, duct tape it, put some stickers on it, Band-Aids, whatever, so that it is easy for them to identify. That's in one hand. Next hand, we're going to put in their clothing. Play clothing. Clothing that when they get home and you pull it out of their bag and you're like, oh my goodness, what? Okay, Mom, so we were in the woods. Oh, I can see where you were by the stains on your. So, yeah. Play clothing that can get it a little dirty, maybe get it some stained, maybe get it some snags on it, whatever. Throw that in there. And then obviously you're going to want to look at the weather, make sure it's weather appropriate. I know we've had some chilly mornings already, so a sweatshirt definitely is going to be advisable for them to have. They can wear it around, and then boom, sun comes out, they tie it around their waist like a 90s icon. But at least they are prepared and they're not just, oh, I need to go back to my cabin. And then they walk 15 minutes back to their cabin and then 15 minutes back to class with their cabin leader. They've lost a half hour. They've lost half their class time. So we want to make sure that they have those items with them and that they're comfortable. I don't know if shorts during their time will probably be appropriate, but definitely long pants, daily change of socks, underclothing, their PJs in there. I highly recommend 2 pair of shoes in case one pair gets wet. They're not squishing around all day in those shoes. They can squish back to their cabin, take those wet shoes off, those wet socks off. Now we know, because they're 6th graders, they think ahead, and they said, oh, I'm going to pack an extra pair of socks just in case, because we all know our sons and daughters do that. I'm in 6th grade. And then they'll put on those dry socks and then the dry shoes and continue to enjoy the rest of their day. I would highly recommend a rain poncho. You can get them at like Walgreens. They just, they kind of fold up. They're the little ones just for an emergency because we will be out there, rain or shine. Now, if it's a monsoon, I mean, if it's a downpour and it's thunder and lightning, yeah, that's unsafe. We're not going to do that. But if it's just some sprinkles, some light rain, yeah, we definitely want to maximize our time outside as much as possible. You're going to throw a towel in there for showering either in the morning or the evening. They do have private shower stalls. You should have seen the relief on your kids' face. They were like, oh, yeah. When I went to camp, we had the big, community shower stall. But they'll need to bring their own bag of toiletries. So that's things they use every day. Their toothbrush, that you never have to remind them. Toothbrush, toothpaste, soap, deodorant, all of that right in there for showering, like I said, either in the mornings or in the evenings. At that point in time, you're done. It's basically, boom, their clothes, their PJs, towel, toiletries. Pack that up. If you want to send a water bottle, you could definitely do that. If you want to send chapstick, I don't think they'll probably need sunscreen or insect repellent during the week they come, but who knows, weather might change. I highly recommend one of the best type of cameras to send are the one-time use disposable cameras. I have seen them fall off the top bunk. They hit the floor. Flash goes off. You got a great picture of the floor. But more importantly, you still have all those pictures intact. And then just make sure, hey, open it at home, take a Sharpie and write their name right on it so that if they do lose it, boom, their name is on it. We hold it up in the dining hall, lost and found, and they come up and boom, they grab their camera right there. Things not to bring. It's not a hunting expedition, okay? So they don't need the big expedition backpack that they're going to be wearing around on hiking trails, with the hatchet and the machete. They definitely know we're not doing that. We're not the Survivor Man out there. They will be fine. They're going to be well taken care of. They don't need any survival equipment. Do not send any first aid kits or anything like that. I don't want to see 6th graders doing triage on other 6th graders. You walk by the cabin and hey, my uncle said that if we hold them down. Okay, no, we're not doing that. We have a health officer there. The nurse will be there. We will definitely, your child will be well taken care of if that situation should arise. Now, you do not need to send any money. I live there, and there is nothing for your child to buy at camp. I know this. So don't send him any money. And my dad was always that guy. Well, take $5 just in case. Okay, no, I know there is no, if every once in a while a kid will bring me money. I got $5. Acorns off the squirrels. I don't know, man. There's really nothing for you to buy. So do not bring any money. Everything will already be taken care of, payment and everything back here at school. They do not need any electronic equipment, so they don't need to bring their Switch or their cell phone or anything like that. And I know that's kind of like, okay, wait, I'm going to send my kid an hour and a half away, hour and 15 minutes away without their cell phone. I'm really not comfortable with that. Let me explain. If there was an emergency at school and you had to get a hold of your child, you would call the school. The school would get a hold of your teacher, their teacher, and their teacher would give them the message at the appropriate time. Exact same way at camp. You call into camp, they actually put it through directly to my cell phone. That's a direct access. And my phone number is actually on the website. It's right there. And I carry that with me 24/7. So I will have that with me. Boom. I'll then go, oh, okay, let me get in touch with their teachers. I get in touch with the teacher. And I know, even though we're 250 acres of land, I know where every single child is at camp at any given moment. Because where they better be, because they're following a schedule. Because when they get off the bus, they're just not like, hey, peace out, I'm out of here. No, we have a schedule that we follow. So boom, it's 1:30. You're in the Osprey cabin. You're in the Apache Traveling Tribe. Oh, that means right now you're at Reptiles and Amphibians. Oh, you're in the Cree Traveling Tribe. Okay, that means you're out of Outdoor Living Skills. So I know because I have a list of every child, and then I have what cabin they're in, and then what traveling tribe we are in, so that we can find them at any given moment while they are there. So any emergencies, things like that, yeah, definitely. We want communication, but we don't want to take away from their experience of texting you, hey, I did this, hey, I did this, hey, I did this, or distracted by that. And it's incredible what kids come up with when they don't have a screen in their face right in a screen. I was walking by a cabin and there were some boys milling around outside of their cabin with their cabin leader. They're like, hey, Bear, you want to play? And I'm like, sure. I got like 15 minutes. What are we playing? And they're like, we're playing Kick the Stick. And I'm like, okay, great. You're going to have to run the rules. We don't know yet. We're making it up. So they're just creating stuff. But I guarantee if that kid would have had a cell phone, he'd have been in his cabin, sitting on the floor, in a corner or in his bed, just sitting there on that phone. But now they're outside and they're doing stuff. So you do not send any of that. Last thing I want to talk about, do not send any candy, gum, or munchies. Okay, they do not need that. We have breakfast, lunch, dinner, and an evening snack. They're well fed while they're at camp. And I know we've all seen the camp movies where, little Johnny goes to Camp No Hope and, the lady's like, here's your possum stew. No, we don't have possum stew. I'm going to run through breakfast like I did with your children, because I was at breakfast and then on the road for lunch. Started off, we had bananas and then some sliced oranges. After that, we had, it was a vanilla yogurt and then blueberry. And then right after that, our pastry area today. And all of this will change, obviously, every meal, but also every breakfast. We don't have the same, maybe tomorrow might be like strawberry and banana or something, or key lime or something weird. Or if you're into that, that's good too. But every once in a while, they mix some up, and I'm like, okay, that's great. And then the pastry area were all the tiny little donut holes. So there were the glaze, there was the chocolate, there was the powdered, there was the cinnamon sugar, all of that stuff, just all of. Oh, also it isn't all you can eat. Okay, I stand by that. But it is also portion control each time through. So I know some of you are like, oh, my son's going to be building. Look, Mom, it's a Pyramid of Giza out of donut hole. No, they can have that many, but they're going to take 2 each time through. Then we go a little further. There was hot cereal for today. That was oatmeal, and then there were some raisins and brown sugar there. And then right next to that, we had scrambled eggs. And then we had the little triangle potato hash browns, and then we had bacon. And then right after that, at the very end, there's probably about 12 different types of cereals that we have. And they're all in like the prepackaged little bowls. So there's like Trix, there's Lucky Charms, there's Cheerios, there's, I think, Apple Cinnamon Cheerios. There's a bunch of variety of Chex, Frosted Flakes, Fruit Loops, all of that stuff. And then at the very end, there's what we have, our bread box, and it has like English muffins in it, bagels, bread so that they can toast, because we have a toaster right there, cream cheese, jelly, those type of things. I say all of that so that you know your child will be well fed while they're at camp. What you have to do to help me out is on the health form, there is a little area down at the bottom where it says food, allergies, and restrictions. So if your child, gluten-free, celiac, vegetarian, vegan, lactose intolerant. You're going to put that on there because the more we know about those dietary restrictions and things like that, the better we're going to be able to care for your child while they are at Camp Moshindo. Now, I'll get up. Oh, here we go. After the video, what's going to happen is I'm going to come back up here and talk a little bit about medication and how to properly package any medication that your child may take on a regularly scheduled basis. So there we
Moshindo Outdoor Education School is located in Hillsdale, Michigan. Situated on 250 forested acres containing streams, wetlands, and a 25-acre spring-fed lake which is utilized year-round. Moshindo's programs and facilities provide the perfect place and opportunity to explore nature and learn about ourselves and others. Upon arriving, students are greeted by a full-time resident staff of dedicated instructors. Each has been selected because of their commitment to outdoor education and are trained to instruct in science, recreational activities, cultural histories, and team-building experiences. The staff and school teachers work as a team. Together they strive to provide the best possible environment for each individual student and the group as a whole. After meeting the Moshindo staff and unloading the buses, students are given their cabin assignments. These assignments are arranged by your own school teachers, and each cabin group has a cabin leader chosen by your school. The cabin leaders arrive the previous day and are trained by the Moshindo staff and ready for the arrival of students. They live in the cabins with the students and take them from one activity to the next, all while participating with the students and being part of the camp experience. The students then pick up their luggage and move into their cabins. The cabins are divided into two areas, one for the boys and one for the girls. Each cabin has 12 to 14 bunks, carpeted floors, heat, electrical outlets, and its own indoor bathroom complete with private shower stalls. After moving into the cabins, students meet together for a quick orientation to explain the rules and expectations for the week. Students are responsible for their own behavior. All of the normal school rules are still in effect, plus a few additional ones, to ensure a safe and enjoyable learning experience for everyone.
No threatening.
No fighting.
No disrespecting.
Your cabin is your home for this week. Only the people who live in your home are allowed in your home. You must stay with your group at all times and obey your leader.
Do not bring candy, gum, or munchies to camp.
Because you do not want to attract unwanted critters to your cabin.
No medication, no band-aids, no cough drops, and no first aid supplies of any kind.
All medications are turned in upon arrival and then distributed by Moshindo's resident health officer according to the information provided by the student's health form. Moshindo's well-equipped health center, staffed by the health officer, is open 24 hours a day. If any major emergencies occur, the Hillsdale Community Health Center is only 5 miles away. Your school teacher or representative will be informed of any health problems or concerns regarding their students. After orientation, students go on a quick walking tour of the grounds so they will know where the important things are, like the dining room, gym, nature center, health office, and flagpole meeting area. A day of outdoor education begins at 6:30 a.m. Each of the cabin leaders has an alarm clock and will wake up the students. They will have 1 hour to get up, get ready, and get the cabins cleaned. Cleaning the cabins includes sweeping the floor, making the beds, putting belongings in their place, wiping sinks and mirrors, and turning out the lights. At 7:30, all of the campers will meet at the flagpole. One cabin will have the rotating responsibility of raising the flag. Because the local weather can vary greatly from one day to the next, and because this is outdoor education, students are required to bring plenty of warm clothes, rain gear such as a poncho or coat, 2 pairs of shoes, and preferably a pair of boots. Lots of layers and changes of dry clothing are important so that everyone will be comfortable and able to participate in all of the daily activities. Also during flag raising, another group will go to the dining room to set tables for the meal. They will have 15 minutes to get tables ready by 7:45 when everyone arrives for breakfast. There is no assigned seating for any meals. Their service is buffet style. Meals are an excellent opportunity to encourage good social skills and manners by using the words please and thank you. Students are allowed to eat as much as they would like, but do not have to eat foods they do not like. Healthy menus are geared toward 5th and 6th graders with plenty of variety so that everyone can find something they like to eat. Cold cereal is always available at breakfast, and the fruit and salad bar is always available at lunch and dinner. At the end of each meal, students are responsible to clear their own tables. Students then attend classes previously selected by their teachers until lunch at 11:45, and then again after lunch. The classes the students attend are not typical school classes. Some of these classes might include aquatic life, reptiles and amphibians, creepy critters, low challenge course, a team building activity, wild mammals, outdoor living skills, where you can build a shelter and a one-match fire, tie-dye, Michigan Settlers, a role-playing class where you learn what was needed to settle in as a family in a new territory, or Pioneer Craft Fair and Living History, a hands-on experience to life in the Michigan Territory in 1835. When all these classes are over for the day, it's afternoon activity time, where each student can choose from a variety of supervised activities to participate in. Some might enjoy an indoor activity such as dodgeball, crafts, basketball, handball, or for the more adventuresome, climbing the 30-foot rock climbing wall. If an indoor activity does not appeal to the student, seasonal outdoor activities might include an organized large group game, such as Gold Rush or Capture the Fish, archery, sledding, fishing, nature art, and many others. At 5 o'clock, it's time to prepare for dinner. Students are given 15 minutes to clean up and meet at the flagpole for flag lowering at 5:15. Afterwards, everyone heads to the dining room for dinner. Each night after dinner, the staff will have a different evening program planned. It might be a night hike where students will learn about nocturnal animals or possibly stars in the night sky, a campfire where they will sing fun songs and tell stories, a game of wolf pack where you act as a pack of wolves to find the missing wolf. The Wacky Olympics are a blast, completing the different activities. Or a skit night where students and staff join together to provide entertainment for each other, or a square dance. But whatever activities planned, the students are sure to have a good time. An evening snack is also included as part of the night's activities. At 9 p.m., students head back to the cabins to shower and prepare for bed. Lights out is at 10 p.m. to ensure a good night's sleep before another full day of activities. As students depart Mishindo, it is our hope that each student has learned something new, made new friends, gained a new respect for nature, and a new appreciation for themselves and others. Mishindo Outdoor Education School offers students unique, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to experience real learning in the classroom of the outdoors.
All right, well, that gives you a little overview of some of the different opportunities that they may have while they are at Mishindo and some of the stories that they're going to come back to tell you about. Now, medication, any medication that your child takes on a regularly scheduled basis, whether that's for asthma, allergies, vitamins, whatever that may be, you're going to send that to camp in the bottle that you purchased it or package you purchased it in. It also must have their name on it. Now, the pharmacy, they do a great job because they, they give you the little bottle, they get out their tiny little typewriter, whatever, and your child's name is on that bottle. You're going to take that bottle, boom, you're going to put that in a bag, you're going to seal that up, you're going to write their name on the baggie, and then the teachers will have a box on the day your child leaves for camp. You're going to take that bag, boom, drop that right in the box. That gets transported up to camp, and then on the way back, we package it up the same way. Boom, send it right back to you. Now, if let's say it's Claritin or something like that, then you're just going to get your Sharpie out and you're going to write their name right on that. Okay? Or if it's a bottle, okay, if it's your vitamins and your child's name isn't Flintstone, then you're going to write their name right on that bottle and then send that up. We cannot accept any loose medication. So if a child comes up with their bag sealed and their name on it, and I'm like, what's this? And they're like, it's my vitamins. Okay, I have no idea what those pills are. So we would not be able to administer that to your child. Here's where we get into a tricky situation. So your doctor wants them taking, 500 milligrams of ibuprofen twice daily. Okay? All right, yeah, for whatever. And you write your name on the bottle, and then you put it in a bag, you send it up, and then you get a call from our health officer. And they're like, no. I did everything Bear said. Okay, here's the reason we're calling is because it says children 12 years of age or younger must consult a doctor or physician. Okay? You did. You consulted the doctor. He's the one that told you, but we don't know he told you that. So if you send the script in the bag with the ibuprofen, then we are 100%, we are all set with that, okay? So if you send that with that, then that lets us know because doctors are able to override the directions on the medication, but we cannot just have that verbally said to us. We actually have to have that in writing. All right, wonderful. So hopefully you guys feel a lot more comfortable about camp, a camp you may have never even heard of. But right now, if there are any questions about camp, I would be more than happy to do my best to answer those. No? Okay, wow. Yes. Tennis shoes are fine. Tennis shoes are great, yeah. And if you want, you can send like a pair of tennis shoes and boots. That'd be wonderful. I like to try to stay away from any sandals unless they're wearing them in the cabin. Crocs, even if they're in like 4-wheel drive mode or whatever. If they're in the woods and they get a rock and I got a rock in my Croc, I don't know. But in the cabins, that's fine. But out and about, tennis shoes are probably best. Yes, ma'am.
Kids, 6 to 9 kids per cabin, if you heard me. That's what I'm working on right now.
We got to follow up, Mrs. Fritz.
Sorry, go. Yes. Great question also. So we have the kids, all the teachers do this the similar way. When the kids are choosing their cabin mates, they're writing down 4 other kiddos' names from their team that they're comfortable trying to live with for a week or 3 days. So they are choosing those kids' names, and then we as teachers will gather, they write these names on a card. We'll gather everybody's card, and we'll try to fill the slots of all the cabins with those cards. Most of the time, we always tell them they will get at least one of their friends that they put on that card. A lot of times they get everyone because, they're all talking to each other. I'm going to put you, you put me, I'm putting you, you put me, and we'll all be together. And it usually works like that. So that's what we try to do, and then we try to mix some groups together. So when they travel, though, they travel in a male cabin and a female cabin will travel together with their cabin leaders at all times. They're never away from each other. So yes, we try to mix, and our teams are the only teams that are going to camp. So my team of 4 teachers will be the only ones at camp, and we'll be the only ones living in the rooms together at that time. So when the next group comes, we leave. The same thing has happened with their team. Does that answer your questions? Yep. Yes. Every single one of the teachers that your children has will go to camp. We stay on site the entire night. Some teachers have to come home for something for their families, and that's usually fine. We cover for them, but we are always at all the classes. We go to all the activities with your students, with your children, our students. And I like to kind of think of the teachers as your personal photographers. We are doing our best to take a picture of every child doing something every day. So we will try Sorry, Bear, but sometimes Machindo Wi-Fi is not the best, but we try to hook up to our computers or our phones, and we try to send you pictures while your child is there. So yes, feel free to send that disposable camera. That's fine for your kids, but know that your team of teachers is doing their best we're making sure we're getting pictures of every single kid, and we'll try to send it to you while we're at camp or at least when we get home. And I know my team, we put together the 500 pictures or so that we take, and we dump it into a Google photo album, and then we will share that whole album with you if you would like it. So we will be doing that with our team. Now, I don't know if every team does that, but I know we will. I think most of us do that now, just because sharing a Google photo album is so easy and convenient for us, and so that's typically what we do. Oh yeah, and our administrators are going to be up there as well. We have Mrs. Babrick is going to be there part of the time, and I'm sure Mrs. Huntley and Minnie, I guess, Huntley is going to be coming up, but teachers are there the entire time. Yes, sir. Okay, and that is the week that has actually changed. So I don't know if you've heard that update yet. So we are going October 21st through the 23rd. And if your child was supposed to go the 23rd through the 25th, we had to change that. So they are coming now the 21st through the 23rd. Okay? And the reason that is because our school calendar has changed since we committed to going that week. And we no longer have school on that Friday, the 25th. So it was only going to be a team of 2 teachers anyway, and those 2 teachers were brand new teachers to 6th grade and had never been to camp before anyway. So it made sense for them to join the group that goes Monday through Wednesday. So yes, they will have to be dropped off at school on the Monday that you have to go or the Wednesday that your child goes by 8:30 in the morning. We want them here by 8:30 with their luggage. And we want you to then walk their luggage with them to the luggage buses. We do have 2 sets of buses that will take luggage up first, and then your children will ride buses like normal, with maybe like a sling backpack or something with a book to read or whatever, just to talk to their friends on the bus. Luggage buses go up first, so when they get up there, the cabin leaders will already have been there because they go the night before we all get there on Sunday nights. And they have been trained by Bear and his staff on what the expectations are. And then they're already there waiting for the luggage to arrive. So they're the ones in charge of getting all of those luggage pieces off the buses, dumping them onto the ground or into the hall if it happens to be raining. And then that's how we meet the kids. The kids get off the bus when they finally get there, and they will grab their luggage and go meet their cabin leaders. And likewise, on the flip side, you drop them off at 8:30. Yes, we do require you to have someone drop your child off. They can't ride the bus with all of that luggage and wait for an hour for our buses to be ready to go. We do require them to be dropped off. And likewise, on the flip side, on Wednesday, we try to leave camp at Wednesday around noonish. It's a little bit of flexible time in there, but we try to leave at noon. That means we'll arrive back here by 1:15, 1:30 at the latest. So we would like someone to be able to be at school by that time as well to receive your children and help them with the luggage when they get off the bus. Does that make sense? Okay. Yeah.
If anyone is brave and wants to help load those buses on the morning you leave, it's great. We have a system. If we get just a couple volunteers, we kind of have an assembly line. The buses have to be loaded just right. They can't be over the seat by state law. They can't be in the aisleway. So we have to go and hand place each one nice and neat in each seat. And it does take a little bit. So if anyone wants to help out.
And along those lines, your teachers will be given and sending you a Google invite to maybe be one of those people to help that with. It'll be like a Sign Up Genius kind of thing that you've probably gotten before. But should be coming. Yes. Totally fine. I mean, it's good to let the teachers know, just their personal teacher would know, just so we know who to expect. But literally everybody's getting picked up at the same time. We're not always 100% sure they got in your car or in their friend's car. So yes, let the teachers know who's expecting to pick them up. That would be a good place to start. Yeah. Yeah, it'll be at FT, and two buses for luggage will already be there, and the kids will just wait outside of the school with their homeroom teachers until that 9 o'clock hour, and then we're going to load our buses by 9 and head out to camp by 9 o'clock. I'm having trouble seeing if there's any other hands up. Sorry, go ahead. Yes, we will ride. One of us, typically in my team, I drive my car up, and I'm the one that takes the medicine up for our team. So I make sure it gets there and before the kids get there too. And that way also we have a car available to us if anything would happen. So that's every team usually does that. Of teachers, one teacher will drive a car, two to three teachers will ride the buses with the children. And the cabin leaders, as I mentioned, have already been there. And the cabin leaders will have to come ride home with the Friday group and the Wednesday group when they come back that Wednesday for that short week. Great questions. Yes? Inhalers.
Inhalers. Do you have the box possibly that it came in? That'd be great. Yep. And then they'll just carry their inhaler with them. If it's a rescue inhaler, but if it's something that they just use more preventative, then they would just take it in the morning or whenever they typically do. Yeah.
Go ahead. We won't have breakfast at camp on the very first day, but we will have lunch. So yes, feed them before you bring them to school, and we will feed them a healthy lunch soon after they arrived. Yes, and if you were able to pick up a registration packet, the packing list of what things to bring and not to bring was in that. However, it was also on the back side of the paper you had to turn in. So yes, I'm hoping out there that Mrs. Huntley has grabbed a few extra packing lists so you can grab one on your way out. If not, remind the teacher that you would like another one, and we will be sending some home electronically as well. Yeah. Or 3 times. Yeah. If you have them tonight, you're welcome to stop out at Mrs. Huntley, and the rest of us will go out there as well. You can turn it in or just send it with your child tomorrow at school, and they will deliver it to the teachers, and we'll get what they need, where they need it. Well, I hope everybody is feeling comfortable about camp. Again, we'll be here if you have any more personal questions you would like to ask. Does anybody else want to say?
And I'll be up here for a while packing up as well. So if there's anything on a more personal nature. Thank you guys very much. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
coming out.